Hey everybody, welcome back to Elevator Pitch. It has been a while, but my name is Joe Ennis and we're back. And yes, I did move, which is why things look a little bit different now, but we're back. And I am starting off season 2, you could say, with an amazing guest, Jon Talarico. Jon is a mindset coach, and he goes above and beyond that to help people figure out what they want in life and what they want to do. A lot of people he talks about in the episode don't really actually know what they want. Like, some people may be like, yeah, I want to be really rich, but sometimes it's deeper than that. And most of the time it is. What is it specifically that you want, and what do you need to do in order to achieve that goal? Jon has met some of the coolest people. You'll hear some of the stories in the episode, but Jon has met some of the coolest people just through mindset, through thinking, I want to meet this person. How do I get there? And he is incredible at it. He's a really cool guest to have on the show. He gives some amazing advice about your mindset, thinking through what you want in life and how to achieve that goal instead of just sitting on your couch watching Netflix, because we all know that won't get there. It's an amazing episode, and I really, really liked it, so please enjoy it. A few things before we launch into the episode. I recently came out with a free guide that I would like to give you completely for free. It is called the Social Media Game Plan, and it teaches you how to make a ton of different type of content in under 30 minutes a week, so that you can spend time on things that are more important, like your business. But it's a super cool course. It's totally free. Just go to joeennis.net and you can find that, as well as all of the links to it are in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into Jon's episode. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to Elevator Pitch. My name is Joe Ennis, and today I am very, very excited because I have one of the most interesting people that I've ever met on the show today, Jon Talarico. Jon, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. Really excited to be here today.
So, Jon, tell everybody a little bit about what you do. I find what you do fascinating, and I think it is the coolest thing ever. Let the audience know, what you do.
Sure. Thank you, Joe. I really am I'm a wealth and mindset coach. I specialize in helping people figure out what they want and then showing them how to get it. I work with people to recognize that they can change the results by changing their thinking. And when you understand that, you master what I call the 3 M's, Joe. You master your mindset, having the right thinking. You master your message, getting clear and very specific on what it is you want. Most people don't know what they want because they'd rather die or binge out on Netflix and take time to binge out on themselves, their goals, and their dreams. So we have to get clear about what we really want. Most people don't ask big enough. And then the 3rd M is the market. What are you doing to build those relationships, to build your network? And that's the one thing is I went and got my mentors for the other 2 pieces. I went and studied with Bob Proctor. There's no one better, in my opinion, for mindset. Les Brown is my other mentor and business partner on messaging, motivation. And then we all have that one unique thing, Joe. I call it the million in you, right? It's that unique thing. It's that one thing that we do better than anyone else. And it sometimes takes us a long time to recognize and figure it out. For me, it's the ability to teach people how to build and create the relationships they need to live a life of their dreams, to connect people. That first and most important connection starts with your thinking.
Interesting. So, Jon, there are a lot of people need connections. Everyone that is a small business owner or an entrepreneur, they're always looking for more connections. What is one problem that you see in the field of just networking that
Sure.
is something that maybe most entrepreneurs are not doing, and potentially opportunities that they're missing because
Right.
they're not taking them in the first place when it comes to networking and meeting new people?
Sure. No, great connection. Great question, Joe. And regarding connections and networking, first of all, most people hear the word networking, they get all panicky. They get nervous, right? They're like, oh God, I have to go do something. Yet when we take a moment and pause, we actually just look at the definition of networking. It's just the exchange of information to help further one's career. So we're all here. All your listeners are here to further their business, to grow their business. And so when we realize that it's just an exchange of information, one that hopefully takes a little bit of the charge off of it. Number 2, most important thing is you want to give value first, right? So many people come and they say, "Oh, I have a great idea for us to do something that will make, my clients, I have a lot of celebrity and high net worth clients. I have this great idea. We can both make a lot of money." Well, they already have money. They have celebrity status. So it's rarely, if ever, does anyone come and say, "How can I help? How can I be of service?" And so what I teach is that you have to be able to give value first and let go of the attachment. You have to believe in the things that are unseen. You have to trust universal laws, and that as you give, so shall you receive. And that receiving comes with the knowing that everything's already here, Joe, to live the life of your dreams, right? In one form or another. The way for you and I to be speaking to each other, it's always been here. Fly an airplane, that knowledge has always been here. It just was an awareness issue. So when you realize and have the awareness that you can be, do, and have whatever you want, and you give first, always leave people with the impression of increase. The way I developed all of my strategic relationships and now partnerships, and actually some very good friendships, including our good friend Onyx Singal, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, that all started with something I call little things for big connections. And how do we do that? We take the time to do the research. It's so easy right now to find out everything about you, Joe, right? You go online, you can look down LinkedIn, social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and find out what's really important. I did that with Bob Proctor. There was a one song that he played for three straight days, and that obviously meant something to him. And I took the time to look up the guy, and I got the guy to autograph the album for him, and that led to an amazing partnership and relationship with Bob. And same thing with Onik. He wanted to meet the legend of Bollywood in India. It was his dream. And so through some other relationships, that's what I offered first. Sure, I would love to have a relationship and a partnership with Onik, with Bob, with Les. But I was okay if that didn't happen, Joe, because I wanted to do something that was going to make a difference in their life and leave a lasting impression.
Sure.
And so being unselfish, right? Just being selfless.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's kind of what I've been trying to do with this entire podcast. And maybe you can tell me if I'm doing it correctly or not. But, my goal with this podcast, obviously there's a lot of the guests that I bring on may not necessarily be clients of mine. A lot of the guests aren't necessarily doing stuff like podcasts. And I would love them to, potentially make some more content. But my first goal, and I've been saying this to everyone, is to make sure that my guests get more out of this podcast than I do. And that's why I give them free content. I give them a free micro content piece, which I usually charge a good amount of money for. And I make sure that they feel like they got a ton of value out of it. And, if they come back and they want to keep doing it, that's great. But if they don't, that's okay, because I was able to, help them out.
Yes.
So I'm glad, you kind of brought that up, because that's kind of my mindset with this whole elevator pitch thing.
Yes.
And it's been working out well so far. So Jon, when it comes to, I think you kind of answered this question just now, but when it comes to, there's a lot of people that do what you do. They connect people with one another, or they connect themselves with people. What sets Jon Talarico apart from other networkers?
Sure. Great question, Joe. And I believe that there isn't anyone that does what I do, right? I find that I have a very unique skill. And because I believe, as we all do, we have that one unique special gift that we do. But you will be hard pressed to find anyone who has been personally mentored and studied mindset from Bob Proctor, who's spent 58 years studying and teaching mindset. And then combine that with understanding motivation and messaging, 30 years of Les Brown. So I've got 88 years of knowledge flowing to and through me. And now I combine that with my one unique skill, which is the ability to build and create relationships. So now I've managed to master the right mindset, to know that I can choose my thoughts, create new feelings and emotions, and then take different action than I've ever done before to give me the results that I want. I can get clear on exactly what I want by understanding what Les has taught me, through knowing that I can get clear on my messaging, what I want to do, which is how to get people to know, like, and trust me, how to get the audience's attention, how to hold it, and then how to move them to get them to do what I want them to do, Joe. I want people to wake up to realize that they have that million in you in them, that they have that special, unique gift, that so many people spend 90 years or whatever they do in bondage to their thoughts or their life that they think that they have been sentenced to.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to know that there's a different way. And I don't want them to have to wait 4 decades like I did to wake up and realize that every day can be a great day, that you can have your dream, you can be on mission, you can live your purpose. And that purpose is not something that's outside of you. I spent decades looking for it out there, thinking that next seminar, that next book, that next course was going to give me the answer with, like, the secret, scratch off at the end, like, here's your purpose, Jon, right? And so I realized that with the right understanding of how we think, right? Most people don't understand that our thoughts, we become what we think about. And so when you understand that you can at every moment either choose fear or faith, you realize you can either have a negative or positive emotion. That auto-suggestion works both ways. That if you don't fill your mind and your thinking with positive things, then the negative ones, the weeds of the garden of the mind, are happy to stay where they've been. So we've got these mental habits, mental programming that have been, running our life for decades. And so I'm able to help people see that, one, they have these paradigms that have been controlling their life, that their current results are being run by their five senses, that what they see, hear, taste, and touch, that there's another way, that we have these God-given faculties, our higher mental faculties, our intuition, our memory, our reason, our will. And the most and greatest gift of all, Joe, is our imagination. We have the ability to close our eyes and dream, right? That's how an airplane started. That's how this conversation started, this computer, this cell phone. Everything starts here, and it's created twice. So when we recognize that in every moment, everything's already here, it's always been here from the beginning of time, then if everything's already here, Joe, that we need, then it's just an awareness issue to realize, what is it that you want? So I have the ability to now take people and show them they can think in a different way. They can think into results. They can now speak their message from what I learned from Les, and motivate and inspire. And, one story, one speech can change the world. One person can change the world. One person changed my world. And so I'm able to take those two things, combine that with my ability to teach people how to build relationships with people and partner with people. And that the most important relationship they need to start with is the one with their thinking, and then with their message, and then with the outside marketplace. And so that's what separates me from everyone else.
That's awesome. What would you say two questions. What would you say is the moment in your life where you realized that you had the million in you? What was the thing that pushed you over the edge to get that?
Sure.
That's my first question. And then my second question is, with the people that you work with, a lot of the people, what do you think the most common one for them is? What is the most common things that open your clients up to realize, oh, wait, I can do this? What would you say those are?
Wow, great question, Joe. For me, it was when I had, through another connection, a billionaire call me, and it was actually him call me and say, can you get me Akon for my birthday party? And I knew Akon from the radio, and I these words just came right out of my mouth, Joe. Of course I can. And I hung up and said, well, what did I just commit to, right? So, and then I took action. I said, okay, let me see what I need to do. Let me research what he's doing, who might know him. Found out that he was playing at a festival up in Montreal. I flew up to Montreal thinking I'm just going to walk in because I have money and I'm ready to go. And there was 10,000 people there. There's no way I was getting backstage. But you have to be resilient. You have to be persistent. So I went back to the internet again, found out he was going to be in an after party in a strip mall, and I went. And I just sat there and waited for my opportunity. I watched a woman that was sitting next to him for a couple hours. And as she went to the restroom, I just waited outside and said, look, here's the deal. I have money. It'll be wired next week. I don't need to meet him. I'm a little bit old to be a groupie, right? I don't need any photo op or anything like that, but just show me who I need to deal with. So it was knowing that I could actually step outside my comfort zone and think about how I wanted this to work out and actually manifest and attract that situation into fruition. And from there, I've traveled the world with him. We had 11,000 square foot office in the Empire State Building for 2.5 years. And it's allowed me an incredible opportunity really to meet some amazing people, travel the world. And so that was really one for me that I realized that no matter what I decide to do, I know I can do it. Right?
That's awesome.
For my clients, a lot of them, as I get to know each of them, Joe, and as they sign up for my mastermind, which is a 6-month course called Thinking into Results, for them, it's knowing that they can have whatever they want. So I make them all write out a goal card. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and probably some of the best ones are the ones who have turned their annual income into a monthly income. Client last month, he's now, he had to borrow money to pay to start my mastermind. It's been 6 weeks. He's now got 2 clients that are worth over $100,000 each. I've got other clients that are doing reality TV shows that are speaking on stages, speaking on virtual stages with the greatest motivational speaker of our generation, Les Brown. I've got other clients writing books, starting and launching podcasts. I've got police officers and people who've been living and existing in a JOB, right? Finally stepping into their LIFE, right? Into their life. And really seeing them know that they have the confidence, knowing that we can work on their self-image. I can show them that how they have a false image of themselves, and that by changing our daily habits, by doing some things that we've never done before to become someone we've never been before, by through the constant spaced repetition of new ideas, of new behaviors, they can have whatever they want, whatever they write down. And so that's what I love. And when I see those success stories of my clients, that's what gets me fired up, and know that I want to continue to spread my message to more and more people.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's great. Funny story. When I first met you, it was through Onik. Onik was like, bro, he got Akon to go to a birthday party. And I being like a young, I don't know, Gen Z or whatever I am, I was like, I don't know who Akon is. And Onik and like everyone else who worked with Onik was like, you don't know who Akon is? And now I see him everywhere. And I'm like, oh, there's Akon again. Jon knows him. So yeah. Funny story. Well, Jon, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for this. Last two questions.
Sure.
Number one, who are your favorite clients to work with? If people wanted to work with you, who are the people that you get along the best with, that have the most success with you? And sure. Number two, please plug away anything and everything that you want to plug. Your podcast, your company, your business, your course, everything.
Sure. Appreciate it. My favorite clients are the ones that are willing to actually do things in a different way, Joe, to be accountable, to ask themselves two questions. Am I able to do what I really want to do? Regardless of how I'm going to do it, am I able to do it? And that answer will always be yes, because someone's either doing it or has done it. And then the second question is, am I willing to do what it takes? And so those clients that tell me yes to that second question, that I'm willing to do what it takes, because I ask all of them, I want you to commit to me to 1 hour per day of doing things in a different way to move you toward your goals and dreams. And I have an accountability WhatsApp group on my phone. All my clients are on there. And so it's an awareness exercise, because the results will always tell what's going on in the thinking. And so those are the clients that I love to work with, Joe, the ones that want more out of life, to know that they have something bigger and better to do and to give, and that they want to change the world. And I believe you'll find that that's pretty much most people. So I think everybody needs the stuff that I teach, this mastermind about thinking into results. And so that's who I love to work with, that people can find. Happy to give away a free report on some of my 10 laws and 10 understandings of how you can be a better networker. If you guys want to go to Jon Talarico, it's Jon Talarico.us. And I picked that site on purpose because it's us. It's about all of us together, Joe. We don't come from the creative mindset. We are the competitive mindset. We're here to create. We're all in this together, right? And so I want to work with people who know that we can create together, we can rise and grow together, that we're here to help each other out, that we're here to treat each other as if we're the most important person in the world, because to that person they are, right? And that's how we should treat each other. And I want to work with people who know that their goals and dreams are possible, and that they can respond to life rather than react to anything, anybody, any situation, any environment, and know that they can move through life with a calmness of mind, as James Allen says in As a Man Thinketh. The true jewel of wisdom, right, is calmness of mind, knowing that life can come to you with total ease and joy and happiness, and that you have everything you already need, right? Only thing you need to do is maybe someone to help you bring it out, and that's what I do.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, and listeners, all the links and everything that, everything Jon Talarico will be in the description. Jon, if you could do that free report, that would be amazing. I'll put that in the description as well. Definitely go read that. I guarantee you that there is some life-changing information in there. Jon, thank you again. Anything else you want to plug before we roll out?
No, Joe, I just want to, thank you and really just point out to your listeners, this is exactly what I teach, what Joe's doing, you guys, what he did. And when I saw that email, just said, I want to offer this to you. He didn't ask for anything in return. And so what do you guys think will happen is that when somebody asks me, who should I go to help me launch my podcast? Who's the first person I'm going to think of? It's going to be Joe, because he knows and understands the laws, is that always give people and leave them with an impression of increase, knowing, because Joe has that unwavering faith that he knows it will come back to him. And when we don't worry about the how it's going to come back, but stay focused on thinking from our wish fulfilled, right? Neville Goddard talks about living from the end. So that's where you guys want to use your imagination, like Joe's doing. Like, how can I give value? and he knows this will return to him tenfold. And so I want to thank you, Joe, for having me. All the great, amazing work you're doing. It's been a real pleasure to be here, and I just love to see your growth and see what you're doing for everybody to help change the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jon. This has been awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
Jon, thanks again for being a guest this week. It was super, super fun. I really enjoyed it. Everyone, make sure to go check out Jon's podcast. The link is in the description. And remember to go to joeennis.net for a free copy of the social media game plan course so that you can learn how to make your own content like this in less than 30 minutes a week. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.